Yay, educators! You have made it to EDU 270 Module 8, the very last module, but no less important than every other module. So here we're going to think about targeted interventions. We are going to continue with the lesson planning. Just like last module, you are going to reflect on your planning and your teaching. So targeted interventions are for those students that have not met their success criteria or their learning targets. So you may have instructed, you've given them some learning opportunities, and they have worked with their peers and they're still not meeting that target. So what are you going to do? Well, you're going to intervene. You're going to keep supporting them, keep teaching them until they meet their target. So you have readings just like every other module. You have your reflections, you have videos. I cannot say enough about this opportunity to collaborate with your classmates, particularly with intervention. Sometimes intervention becomes more complex for teachers than teaching in general. So planning for teaching, that seems to flow, but then it becomes disruptive when students haven't learned or they haven't met their target. You still have to keep going with curriculum because you're going to have students that have met their target. So intervening becomes a little bit complicated, and you have to be very creative about when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it, and most importantly, how you're going to keep track of it, because we have to keep track of our interventions to assure that students are growing, because if they are not growing after a period of time, then we have to switch up our interventions. So rely on your peers, rely on your classmates, have these deep conversations, what's working for others, share what is working for you. Your assessment here, improved lesson reflection criteria. So you have a rubric for your assessment, as you always do. Again, you're going to choose an instructional lesson or unit that you have already taught. You're going to add a narrative to that. You're going to add your thoughts as you reflect. How well did you do? How well did you assess student progress? How did you adapt by adjusting strategies? And then finally, if needed, how did you utilize targeted interventions? So you might, in your reflection, you might say, oh my, I didn't adjust the strategies. So then think about that. How will you in the future? And include that in your narrative. Don't just write, I didn't do it. Okay, noticing that you didn't do it is great, but then how will you, or how could you have within that lesson? Okay, so keep going, strong work, keep the learning up, continue to apply, continue to reflect, continue to have those peer-to-peer, classmate-to-classmate conversations, and enjoy teaching your students.